Welcome to the stream, guys, and if you can hear me, let me know. I couldn't get my words out there. If you can hear me, guys, let me know. I'd be eternally grateful. That would also let me know if there is anybody here at the moment. If not, we will just continue. And don't forget, guys, that likes will help YouTube to promote the stream. So leave a like on your way in. And leave a like on your way out. If you haven't left a like on your way in, I'd be eternally grateful. Thanks very much. Hey, Thomas, how are you doing? All good there? Pretty good here too. We have quite an interesting little session today because having beaten Norwich in the FA Cup last time out, we now have to play Norwich in the league again, and then we're going to follow that with Preston, and those are two very difficult games. If we look at the championship, Norwich are top and Preston are in 6th. Following that, we would have to play Watford, who are there or thereabouts as well, favourites to be champions this year. Hi Daniel, how you doing? So we have like the next 3 games are very, very big games. Very, very big games. As you recall, in the transfer window, we were able to make a couple of signings. We signed Dennis Kirkin, a left back, after we sold Charlie Taylor. He's not the greatest left back I've ever seen, but he looks quite decent for the championship. He's got good enough mentals and physicals for the championship, and he can cross the ball. And it is very difficult, as you guys know, to find a defender who can actually cross the ball at this level. And if you can find one, he will cost an awful lot of money. He's 20 years old. He's got 5-star potential, possibly a Premier League fullback should we get promoted at the end of the season. I still don't feel very optimistic about getting promoted, not playing that 4-3-3 and not having a striker. But we did bring in Therese Campbell, and he will play as a poacher. And the reason we're going to play him as a poacher is he's not aggressive enough to play as a pressing forward. And can we play him as an advanced forward? I would worry a little bit about his passing. Although for this level, it's probably not too good, not too bad. As a poacher, he lacks heading ability, but that's okay. We'll just hit low crosses in there. He's got plenty of pace to jump onto low crossing, and he does have finishing. One thing that concerns me is that his composure's not that great, so we'll have to see how he gets on. He's 23 years old as well. He's got 4-star potential, and he possibly could go up to the Premier League as well. So interesting little session that we're going to have here today. And who knows what's going to happen. We're either going to be out of the playoffs, or we're going to be continuing the good form that we've actually been showing. And the only game that we lost of late was against Coventry, and that was totally my fault. And I was so engrossed in the chat. Actually, if you did watch that episode back, you'll see that at the end of the game, I was totally confused by what had gone on. And that was a very poor defeat, and I can only put that down to my own stupidity. I thought we were 1-0 up, not 1-0 down. And so I went into defensive mode to hang on to it when we were a goal behind. That was my fault completely. But apart we haven't been doing that badly all season, in fact. The only real blip was that 3-2 defeat against West Brom early on, and then we've lost against Coventry. And considering we haven't had any strikers, this is going pretty well. So thanks for coming, guys. It's good to see you as always. Where's Ethan? Ethan was the one who requested it, and I can't see Ethan in here. Hopefully Ethan will be along very shortly. And in terms of Norwich themselves, I was quite surprised when we actually beat Norwich last time. They are a very, very good side, and if we have a look at their team report, then we'll see that it's quite scary to look at. If you look at the scout report, I mean, this list is quite scary to look at. What we're going to do when we look at this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for different things. I'm going to look for their ability to press. these things are going to affect how I instruct my team to play. Are they going to be good at pressing? Are they great passers of the ball? Are they going to be able to defend a press? Are they going to be able to, are they good finishers? Where do they finish from? We're not going to find that in here, but we probably will find that somewhere. So all those things, are they good dribblers? All these things will help me to instruct my team how to play against them. For example, if they are great passers of the ball, which they actually are, then do I really want to press? If they are great ball carriers and dribblers, which I suspect they are, then do I really want to press? And the answer to that question would be no. I don't want them passing. Yeah, they are good. There are quite a few good dribblers. So dribbling, good passers. In terms of their creativity, we've got to look at their vision. Have they got great vision? And if they combine that with passing, then I definitely don't want to be pressing them too much. Otherwise, they're just going to be passing it past us and running past us. We also then have to decide, if they are good at pressing, are we good at defending a press? Are we good at passing? Can we pass it round them? Can we carry the ball? And so how we set the team up, a lot of it is going to be through here. And we can tell they're good passers, good dribblers. They will score a lot of goals. They have plenty of pace. They have great composure. So they're going to be very creative. They're going to be hard to defend against. They make good decisions. They have great first touch. So we really need to be not pressing them too much. If their first touch was poor, then we could possibly think about pressing them. When we set up our tactic, we don't want to be pressing them at all. I'll leave it on a standard, but looking probably Norwich, I'd say probably press less often at this stage. But we'll leave it at standard because we are not a bad team. We're definitely not going to be trying to take the ball off them high up the pitch, because that means that they're going to have space in behind us, and they possess great acceleration, great pace. In terms of their tackling ability, I didn't come across that. I don't think there was anything here in terms of tackling. We know they have a good left back. I can't see anything regarding tackling. Finishing is good. As opposed to us, they have good stamina. They're a very, very good team. But tackling, I can't see anything. So maybe when it comes to tackling, we have to look at that on a zonal level. And where we have players who can tackle, then we will tackle them. But certainly we don't really want to play in an aggressive way against this team. In terms of their weaknesses, there's very little that we can actually focus on. 5 of their last 14 goals have come from the left-hand side of the pitch. But that is not a big number. It's like 30%. So where have the other 66% of the assists come from? So it's not enough to be saying, okay, let's focus down the left-hand side of the pitch. But we do know that Hayden is not in great form, and we knew this last time. And so we targeted Hayden as a player who was vulnerable, and it seemed to work last time. So something that we have to consider. However, they will be ready for us this time. And so that's why I've gone and changed the shape. And so we've gone to this asymmetric. It's really a combination of a 4-4-2 and a 4-2-3-1. And basically, if you take those two tactics, squeeze them together, then this is something that might pop out if you squeeze it in the middle. So basically, what you've got is very little in midfield, but you have a lot going on in this kind of final third area of the pitch. You have 2 wingers cutting inside, you have a shadow striker bombing up and down in this area, and then you have a poacher or an advanced forward, somebody who can finish in and around the box. So it's a tactic that works very effectively. But why it works is because you have this central midfielder he kind of just sits there. He doesn't go anywhere. He just sits in this pocket here, and he does a lot of tidying up. And one of the things you do with him is you ask him to tackle harder. And in the same way, you're going to ask this DLP to tackle harder as well. We don't want them playing around here. We want to get stuck into them in the middle of the pitch here. The DLP is on a support duty. It doesn't mean that he's going to be up here somewhere. He just has a freedom, a license to wander around. And he won't stay, he won't hold his position here because he's on a support duty. So he'll wander around. Often you'll find him here, and he'll be spreading long balls, diagonal balls over the top this way. He's just got that little bit of freedom to not hold his position. Now, one of the things you've got to think about if you are setting up like this is, against a team like Norwich, do you want him wandering about and leaving that space in this pocket here? So against Norwich, you might probably want to consider at least starting him on a defend duty so that he does hold his position here in front of the back two. The other thing that you will have is Bayer. Bayer has the freedom to bring the ball out as well. And he can do that because the wing-backs on support are on support. So when he does come out with the ball, then generally the wing-back will sit in here and cover him. It's a tactic that's worked really well in FM23, and hopefully we can surprise them with the way we're setting up today. We're going to start the game probably in a balanced way, and I probably won't want to play out of defence, and probably not yet, and we will play with a higher tempo. I'm not going to work the ball into the box. The idea of the higher tempo is that what I don't want them doing is getting to the edge of the box on a high tempo and then slowing down and looking for and being patient and looking for a really good opportunity. We need to make chances and take them. So I want them to just get it into a dangerous area as fast as possible. And that means not working it into the box. So they're not slowing the game down at that point. Now we would have on this side, not on that side, because I have swapped over, we'll underlap on the left-hand side. That can cause problems to teams because it can get we get a lot of players in this area of the pitch then. So instead of the fullback, the wing-back going up outside, he tends to drift in. He will go inside if the winger has already drifted in. He will then go outside, but it is an option to him to drift inside. And obviously then we've set him to shoot less often. I'd rather the fullbacks look for a pass than take the shot on. So Norwich are a very, very dangerous team. We know they're very, very dangerous. And I can't actually remember how they played last time. And it'll be quite interesting to revisit that. In terms of the focus of attack, were down the wings in the main. They play a lot down the wings and mostly on the right hand side. You can see here that most of their focus was down the right hand side. And having a look at their past combinations that they had against us last time, again, you can see it's down the right-hand side. He's a very, very important player to them. He's a bit of a pivot. Most of what the goalkeeper does goes to him, and he then distributes and collects the ball from various people. He is the pivot in that team. So I want our poacher to actually take him out of the game. I want him to focus solely on this centre-back. And so I will ask the new signing up front to tight mark him, get stuck into him, take him out of the game, and then hopefully all this around here will be stopped. And we do need to cover this right hand side, and we need to cover this left back here. They don't seem to pose much of a threat in the middle of the pitch, so maybe we should be actually focusing our play in the down the middle, as they don't seem to be a threat. And if we lose the ball in transition in the middle, then they will try to get it out wide, and they won't be such a threat through the middle. So if we focus our play through the middle, then hopefully we will cut out this stuff that they play on the wings. In terms of our fullbacks, we will ask our fullbacks, our wingbacks, to do certain jobs depending on what we find with their wingers. Zauri is not good at closing down, and it might be, if there is a good fullback here who could cope with a press very easily, then we might ask Zauri to come off the press. So it's an interesting encounter, this. I'm going to start it with a balance, in a balanced way, and I'm hoping that the change of shape will actually take them by surprise. And maybe it will, maybe it won't. I think, given that we have 2 new signings now, it is going to take time to get familiar with the system. It is going to take time for them to bed into the team. I need to play them. We didn't have anybody up front who could score goals, and Charlie Taylor going, we need to bring this boy on now. They both young boys, and hopefully plenty of energy and plenty of stamina, and they'll have good games. So I think that really, in terms of Norwich, we know they're an extremely good team. We're going to be very lucky to get anything out of this game. In terms of our last 5 matches, you can see that my assistant, he is concerned that a lot of our shots are from outside the penalty area, and we don't score from long-range shots. Now, I would rather not take his advice at this moment to work the ball into the box. I really don't want to apply that at the moment. What I'll do instead is I'll go to players like Westwood, and I'll just tell them, shoot less often. Bastian already will do that. Brownhill's finishing is not bad. His long shots are not bad, so I'm not going to give him any instruction until we're into the game. Zauri, he has finishing 7. He's absolutely useless when it comes to finishing, so we're telling him, shoot less often, look for the pass instead, and hopefully that will solve problems of these long-range shots. And so the fullbacks should be on shoot less often as well. So we've pretty much got them all on shoot less often. So I would rather do that on an individual basis than actually just telling the whole team to work it into the box. I don't want them slowing it down here. We're going to play with a high tempo. That's high tempo, fast. And then I don't want them getting here and then totally slowing the game down, allowing the other team to regroup. It might also, if they are defending well, what we might have to look at is going more direct. If they are regrouping well, then we'll go a little bit more direct. But we need to see how the game pans out. One of the good things is that the intensity is low in this tactic, in this way that we're playing at the moment. And so, as Norwich have a great deal of stamina and fitness, we should have energy left at the end of the game. And so it's going to be a very tough game. And on an individual basis, if you look at the where were we? Let's go back to our last 5 matches. Positives, there's other negatives. And we haven't scored goals while we're keeping possession. So again, with that fast distribution, then that hopefully will help. And again, if we're not scoring goals by keeping possession, then possibly we might go a little bit more direct, start with a standard form of passing. We've conceded a lot of goals from inside our penalty area. And one of the things that you can do if you are conceding goals from around your penalty spot is to play the low block. And what that does is that everything then around here is compressed. When they are attacking, you have got a lot of players from the penalty spot outwards, and it's very difficult for them to get shots away from around the penalty spot. So by playing the low block, that means that you stop them from getting those shots away. So that will help. And the opposition have come at us from central areas. And that doesn't necessarily mean Norwich did. It just means that we have... Hi, Joshua. Good to see you, mate. It just means that we've allowed teams too much in the central area, which is kind of surprising because we've been playing with a 4-3-3 and the midfield, there've been plenty of bodies in the midfield, allowing them to come through the centre. That also might mean that what we have to do is to step up a little bit more. Because what we might be doing is allowing the central midfielders too much space. And if we allow them too much space, then they're going to be able to thread balls through the middle, or they're going to be able to just lob these little balls over the top. If we step up more, what we do is we compress that little area of engagement even more, and we're on them a lot faster than would normally. We'll see how that goes against Norwich. We don't need to do that yet. It can be done in-game. So Bayek has lost possession more than any other player, and that is really quite surprising because he is a very good passer of the ball. He is suspended for today. Unfortunately, I would like to have played him. And interestingly, he has passing 16 and vision 14 for a championship team. That is really good. So why is he losing possession? His composure is 14, and I think when he comes back into the side, we're going to need to look at that. He's a very creative player, and it just might be that the pace of the game is too much for Bayek. And so what we might have to do with Bayek is to actually get him to slow things down, take fewer risks, and look for the shorter pass rather than doing anything more creative, and to only actually do the creative stuff when he's absolutely sure that the opportunity's there. Defensively, we should be very strong, but I'm very worried about us defensively. We have not been performing well in recent weeks defensively, but with a new shape now, hopefully, and the low block, hopefully that will start to improve. And the other thing that we need to look at now is the data hub for the next opposition. And just you can pick up a lot of information. Your assistant manager, he will pick out things that for him make decent reading, and for him aggressive shooting, but it's low quality shooting. So it means basically they shoot a lot, but they don't have high quality shooting. So hopefully that will work in our favor. We don't need to be there for too defensive against them. We can take risks. Playing on in a balanced way early on means that we will take some risks, but not too many, leaving ourselves open at the back. And their attacking efficiency it's not jumping out at me as anything great. It's slightly on the wasteful shooting side. It probably means they take a lot of long range attempts. The goalkeeper is performing well above average. What I'm going to be looking for here is his pass completion, which is 84%, which means that they are going to play out from the back. And that's okay. I'm going to allow them to play out from the back. What I do want to do is to ask my poacher to take out the guy that he normally passes to, which I believe is this one, Oma Bamadelli is the guy that the goalkeeper normally goes to. So we need to take him out, and we'll ask our attacking forward to just look after him. And their attacking stats, they score a lot of goals. They're scoring 1.7 per game. They have a lot of shots, huge amount of shots per game, but as we know, it's quite wasteful at times. And in general, Sarah is performing well above average. Who is Sarah? He's not actually listed on the team, but who is he? Gabriel Sara. Performing well, above average in key statistics for this role. Now, we don't even know what he plays, so we need to look for Gabriel Sara. We do know that they will generally play with a box-to-box and an advanced playmaker. Hayden sits there in front of the back two to allow the two fullbacks to go forward. Max Aarons is a very dangerous player, so we're going to have to close him down as well. So I don't know if there's anything particularly from there that jumps out. When I'm looking at this, it could look like an absolute mess, and you can look at this and think, what on earth do I do with all this? Well, again, what I'm going to be looking at are things like tackling. Is there anybody in this team that is poor at tackling? And if we look at Norwich, Norwich's tackling, fewer tackles, but they are poor tacklers. Now, does that mean that we can... Oh, cheers, Joshua. That's really kind of you, mate. We are poor tacklers ourselves. Norwich are slightly worse tacklers than we are. Just a shade. So does that mean that we can, as a team, run at them? Or does it mean that we have to pick individuals out that we can run at? And so probably, because they're not that worse than not much worse than we are at tackling, probably means that we should be picking out individuals to run at. And so we'll look at that when we look at their team as a whole. Generally, defensively, it's very quiet for them. And the defensive actions, 37% are in their penalty area. So they do make a lot of defensive actions in their penalty area. They do have lots of crosses, and they are accurate crossing. So one of the things that we have to do is to stop the crosses. This is quite an interesting one. I don't believe that this does you any good. Clicking trap inside or trap outside. I think best just to leave those alone and have your players just... Hi, Craig. I'm doing really good, mate. How are you doing? I hope you're well. Good to see you again. Just have your players just move the opposition to where you want them to be. What I'm finding with FM23 is that you've got maybe an inside forward on this side and you've got a winger on that side. And you don't want to be bringing them, all of them, inside, because one of them will actually enjoy being shown the inside. It's much better to focus on individuals than click one of these boxes. So just use your opposition instructions to send them. Yeah, low block has worked for me all through FM23. The low block works better in FM23 than it ever has. And... basically, one of the things that people do when they're playing a low block, they immediately think, I've got to play defensive. Not true. And they start messing about with their instructions as well. Oh, I'm playing a low block. I've got to put my wing back on defend here. No, you don't. Keep them as they are. And you can even play a low block if you're dominating. You find you're dominating, then put your centre mid on attack. It won't affect their starting position. So they will defend. They will defend wherever you want them to defend. And people think that they have to change the roles or the mentality if you're playing a low block. You don't need to. I can play this low block. I'm very attacking if I want to. That will affect the mentality of the whole team, and the whole team will take more risks. But I can also start the low block on very defensive, and it just affects the team's mentality. And basically what you're telling them is to keep your shape until you're absolutely sure that you're not vulnerable from a counter-attack on the transition. By doing a balanced, it's a non-plus, it's a nondescript kind of start. And basically balanced, I think you should only use balanced if you just want to just see who is the more dominant team at the beginning. Hi, Carla. Good to see you again. Hi, Iceland. Hey, you just got the sack, did you? I could get the sack in a number of saves. I could get the sack in this Burnley save. I could easily get the sack in Benfica if a few results go against us. I could get a sack in all my saves at the moment. Getting the sack is part of the game. And although I haven't been sacked for about 3 years, but then I hadn't gone a whole season unbeaten for 3 years either, which we've just now done. Does it mean I'm also going to get sacked now for the first time in 3 years? Maybe, maybe not. It's just part of the game. I mean, how many real life managers get sacked all the time? We get sacked as football managers. Suck it up and move on. And you can't win everything every time. So I mean, the low block for me, it works. And you just, when you go into a low black, when you go into a low black, don't change the mentalities that you have. You need players, especially if you are going a little bit more defensive with it. If you're coming off the press and you're not going to counter press, then just basically you need players who will go forward when you counter-attack. And at the moment you can see we've got 6 players who will go forward. And that if we put the DLP on a support role, and this wing back where he should be back on a support role, then what happens now, you'll see, when we do counter-attack, we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players who will actually go forward. Hi, Ethan. I was just asking, I wonder where Ethan is, because he's the one who asked for another live stream, and he hasn't turned up yet. But good to see you, Ethan. How was your day, mate? And so, yeah, so don't change, when you're playing the low block, don't change your mentality. Unless you have a reason for changing it. Like, for example, if we're 2-0 up and there's 15 minutes to go, I might go into this low block and I might change to a very defensive. But I'm not going to shift any of the player roles. I'm not going to shift their mentality individually. They will just take fewer risks. The defenders will actually just stay. If we actually look at what happens, he has got a very cautious mentality, even though he is on a support duty. But if we go very attacking, then if we have a look at that same player now, he now has a positive mentality. So changing, unless you want to change the entire team's mentality, then don't make any changes. And you can go into a low block, you can sit there and compress the play and stop them having possession in this area of the pitch. If you've got bodies in here, they can't be that dangerous. If you're high up the pitch here, you're leaving all sorts of holes. It is a debut for Campbell, yep, and a debut for our new left-back, Kirkin. And we have changed the system a little bit, and hopefully this game will go okay. Let's go back to where we were in terms of... all I'm doing here is looking for things that are not in the middle. If they're average, it's very little I can do with it. And I'm looking for things that are not in the middle. For example, the goalkeeping. Impenetrable defence. We're going to have to play well to beat Norwich. The high scoring, high XG. There's nothing that is out of the ordinary. If we look at the passing dynamics, we're both down here. Fewer passes allowed against and lots of passes completed. So we're both teams are passing fairly well and not allowing the opposition to pass very well. We had the match momentum in the last game. Just after half time, we let them back into the game. And they gained possession mostly from just inside their half, and that's because we allowed them to do that. We weren't pressing them, and we allowed them to play up to the halfway line. They held a high line, and they actually took possession off us. Possession lost. You can see where this low block came into effect, because as they got into that area, we were able to take the ball off them. And that's what I want to happen today, is in this area of the pitch, which is why I've asked our midfielders to tackle harder. We want to win the ball in this area and then transition at pace. And we'll have maybe 7 players bombing up the field. Hopefully that's going to work. It doesn't always work. The best laid game plans don't always work. There's a lot of stuff in here. I'm not looking for anything that's except things that are out of the ordinary. And pitch tilt is basically they are fewer passes against, so they don't allow passes in the final third, probably because a lot of teams sit back against them, and they have lots of passes for in the final third, which means that they are attacking, and probably teams are sitting back against them, allowing them to do that, which is what we are going to do today. And what else can we find here? In the analyst report, there's really not much that I can see from this. Really not a great deal. Nothing there. And if we go back to the overview, we have to watch out. Whoever this Gabriel Sara is, we have to actually look out for him. So let's go and find this Gabriel Sara. Who is he? Gabriel Sara. There he is. And he is attacking mid. Could play centre mid, but more likely to play as the attacking mid. Has a weak right foot and fairly creative, but not something that we shouldn't be able to deal with. He's in good form, apparently, at the moment, and need to just be careful. He's listed for loan. Maybe I should have signed him. But I don't have any room in my squad for loans. But whether he will play or not, we don't know. So I think we're set. All we need to do is set the opposition instructions and then maybe adjust our own player instructions based on... Yeah, I know they're bottling it completely, Ethan. Every game they bottled Sevilla, they've bottled Spurs. More time to keep Brownhill. Yeah, we did try to sell him. It just didn't happen. I'm good. He's prepared to wait. Well, that's nice, because I have every hope of getting rid of him in the summer. Just didn't want to get rid of him at this time. Board are expecting a draw. The supporters are expecting a draw. They are more optimistic than I am. I'm expecting a defeat, to be honest, in this game. I think Norwich are probably the best team in the world. And I think, yeah, I'm expecting a defeat here. If we can beat them, then it will mean that we go within 2 points of them and Cardiff don't go above us. But if we lose, we will be 8 points behind. And that will be, that'll be difficult to claw back. We will just go and set up now. And straight off, I can see the assistant wants me to swap Bastion and Cullen. Might be a good idea. And wants McNally, and also wants Brownhill out of the team. I might swap Cullen and Bastion. We'll have a look at that when we get there. He wants me to play in a cautious fashion. I'm not as cautious as he is. We'll play balanced and we'll see where it goes from there. We did outplay Norwich last time. We were at home and it was the cup. And FM usually let you win one of the two games if they're back-to-back fixtures. This is why I don't fancy our chances this time. So in terms of the opposition, when we're looking at the opposition, we know he's a good goalkeeper. He doesn't have pace and he's got a weak right foot. But we're not pressing high up the pitch, so there's no point in doing anything there. Max Aarons is a very good player, good pace. I really want to tight mark him, but I know we have to hard tackle him and turn him onto his right foot. So we'll hard tackle him. Sorry, his left foot, isn't it? And turn him onto his left foot. It's not going to stop him, but it will make him at least a little less dangerous. Now, as a defender right, I have to think about who I have on the left-hand side. And I've got Zauri on the left-hand side. He's not aggressive, and his positioning is not great. So that means his marking is not going to be great. His positioning is not great. His aggression's not great. He's not got the greatest composure. Decision's not bad for this level. Has acceleration. He probably could just about, with his pace, we could probably risk him to do a closing down job on him because he has that pace. We could tell him to close down Max Aarons. Leon King, the other fullback, is a right-footed. He's normally a right-sided fullback, so it's his left foot. Now this is whether you have a problem. If you were playing that funnel system and you'd got them funnel them inside, trap inside, then that would suit him. Because he would want to come inside onto his right foot. So that's why I tend to leave it off. I want to show him outside. His left foot isn't as good. His crossing is poor. So I want to show him outside. So if he tempts these crosses, he's not going to be very good at it. So we'll channel him onto his left foot. And he doesn't have as much pace as we have down there. So we'll close him down as well. We should have the pace to be able to actually take care of him. So we want to show him outside. And this is the guy who we want to actually look after. He's the distributor. Now, he's got a weak left foot. He's not very aggressive for a centre-back, which is quite interesting. So we're just going to show him onto his left foot. We're going to close him down and show him onto his left foot. But more than that, I'm going to ask Campbell, who again is not very aggressive, but he has pace. And that's what I want him to use. His pace, his anticipation. He is composed. He makes decent decisions for this level. Positioning is not very good. But what I want him to do is to tight mark. I want him to tight mark the central defender. And hopefully the goalkeeper will not look for this player now. So maybe I can even come off that press. Just allow the forward to take care of him. Show him onto his weaker foot. And hopefully he becomes less of a problem. Isaac Hayden, we know, is not playing very well. And so we want to be closing him down. He does have a ball-carrying ability, but if he's out of form, his passing and his vision are not great. And if he's out of form, then we want to close him down and cause him bother. We want to get in his face, basically. And whoever is in this area needs to be actually in his face. And maybe that's something that Scott Twine can look at, taking care of him. Maybe I'll ask Scott Twine to press more often, to actually try and do something about him, put him under pressure, get him to make errors. And so far, so good. We're looking for the playmaker, and here he is probably. Looks like he might be playing as the advanced playmaker or a deep line playmaker. He has... I will do a second season, yeah, Carla, because the idea of doing this was I thought it was going to be easy to get Burnley automatic promotion, but it turned out not to be so easy. They might sack me, Joshua, because it is required. It's not preferred that I get automatic promotion. And when I was in third earlier in the season, the board were extremely disappointed. But they were like saying, well, it's early in the season and you can probably turn that around. But they were very, very disappointed we were only in third. So failure to get into the top two will probably mean that you get sacked. It will not be good enough. You might get a chance to win the playoffs if they're in a good mood, and if you win the playoffs, then they might keep you on. But you're really going to be on dodgy ground if you don't get into the top two, which is why we needed to get a striker in. We couldn't finish, which has been holding us back. So this guy looks to me like he's going to play as a playmaker, but he's not brave, doesn't tackle very well, and he's probably someone we should be tight marking. Not allow him any space at all to spread any passes around. So he is a good player. So let's tight mark him and not allow him to dictate the play. He has pretty good on both feet, but we'll hard tackle him. Just let him know that he's in a football match. And Guezo is probably going to play as the box-to-box. And yeah, he looks a typical box-to-box to me. But he does have good passing and vision. And he does, however, have a weak left foot. And so I think we should be tight marking him as well and showing him onto his left foot. And then that takes out that midfield. We've got players in our midfield who are instructed to tackle harder. So we need to be putting pressure on these two. And it also might mean that we need to keep an eye on them, because if they are dictating, then we need to step up more so that we get up more before they can dominate the play. So in terms of their attack, once we've done that, their attack shouldn't be that dangerous. If we do this job properly, their attack shouldn't be that dangerous. So we're looking for failings. You have to play the Champions League final against Liverpool with West Ham. Yeah, oh, right. So are you going to throw the game, Ethan? Are you going to deliberately lose? Marquinhos, he is a good winger, and he looks to me like he is an inside forward, or he probably going to be an inverted winger. He doesn't have the best finishing or composure, so he's going to be an inside forward. He does have a decent long shot, and he does have decent pace. So I need to have a look at the pace that we have in terms of Kirkin. Kirkin has 14 pace, 14 acceleration, 14 pace. So let's go back and look at his acceleration. He has 15 acceleration. So I don't want Kirkin to be closing him down too much. If we look at his bravery, his strength, he's not... I would say just hard tackle him and show him onto his right foot. His crossing isn't great. Let's show him the outside. And so show him onto his right foot and hard tackle him. We don't want to be closing him down or tight marking him. He's got good dribbling. He has good acceleration. So I don't want to be getting too tight to him that he can get past us. So, yeah, we'll just, for the moment, we will just hard tackle him and show him outside. Todd Cantwell, now he's a bit of an enigma. He's a very creative player. 15 passing, 16 vision. He's very unusual for a winger. He also has 16 dribbling and great agility and balance. We do not want to be rushing at him. We don't want a ball coming over here and our fullback bombing up towards him, and he's going to skip past. So what I would want with him is I want my fullback right there, right next to him when he's receiving the ball. So I want him to be totally tight marked. And we're going to show him onto his left foot again. He does have decent crossing. But it actually might be better to show him onto his inside foot, which is very strong, but he can't shoot. So if he's coming in here, he might be tempted to take a shot. I think I might leave the foot for now. Let's have a look at what he's tending to do, and then we'll think about that during the game. But he doesn't have pace, so I want to tight mark him, get right next to him, and we're going to say tight mark, and then my fullback here, he needs to be right up close and personal. And so we'll ask the fullback to tight mark him. I'm not sure about Cantwell's. He's not very brave, is he? He's not very brave. So, and he's not very strong. So let's ask our fullback to tackle harder as well. Why can't I do that? Ugh. Why won't it let me do that? There's lots of glitches in this game. I want him to tackle harder, but it won't let me open that up. I wonder why. It can open up everybody else but the fullback now. Maybe I'll have to wait until the game starts and tell him from there. Okay, well, let's remind me I have to tell him to tackle harder, because Cantwell is going to be in his area, and this guy needs to tackle harder as well. We'll also instruct Brownhill to tackle harder. So those three, Cantwell is going to be near those three, and hopefully they're going to be getting stuck into him. And then finally their forward. I don't want to do anything really with Pookie. He's got pace, he's strong, he's not very brave, but he's strong enough, and I just think I want to show him onto, at the moment, show him onto his left foot. That's all probably we need to do. He can dribble, great finishing, he's good composure, his concentration's good anticipation, off the ball is brilliant. I don't want to get too close to him. So we'll just show him onto his left foot for the time being, and that should be enough. And so if we can actually, we want to tell Roberts to tackle harder on Cantwell. And that should be game on. So I think it's time. They have Darwin Núñez at centre-back. Yeah, the Preston save. I like, oh my God, I remember going back to last year, Carla, when I was doing Swansea, and my Mac, I was doing it on a MacBook then, and I had to take my MacBook in for a service. It's like biannual service, and oh my God, came back, and they decided to run a program which took out any unnecessary files, and it saw these files that it couldn't recognize and just deleted them. So I lost the Swansea save at that time, which wasn't my fault. 1-0 down, Salah scored, did he? Aha. And so the team are fairly happy. Christian Bayek didn't agree with today's team sheet. They're fairly happy, though. Pleased that the team instructions give him a prominent role in the team. Yeah, you good. They're fairly happy. Team selection, they're not too happy about. But let's go. As I recall, he did want to switch Bastion and Westwood over, didn't he? I think Bastion will make a better DLP with 14 vision, 13. He's not brilliant. I want Bayik in there. Westwood passing, 13 vision, 14. There's not a lot between them, so maybe okay. Let's just go with what he says. Do it that way to begin with, and then see what happens. And I think we. Yeah, let's tell them none of us want to drop out of the promotion places here. So let's go out there and hit the ground running, and let's play some football, and let's beat Norwich again. We can do this. And it might be that if Norwich are dominating the game too much, there's a ton of things we can do. We can think about putting passes over the top, depending on where their line is. Their line is quite high, and they are going to look to press us high up the pitch. It might leave space at the back. The other thing I need to make sure I'm not doing, which is good, is not playing out of defence. They're going to press us high up the pitch. I don't want to be dilly-dallying at the back. But Norwich are actually dominating the game at the moment. They have hit the post and we've cleared. I think this was pretty similar to what happened last time. They started very well, but we came back into the game. And Cantwell is trying to dribble past. And yeah, one of the things about not pressing, especially on the counter press, is that they won't try to press them when they're dribbling, carrying the ball. And they'll just let them run with it and channel them rather than try to take the ball off them. And at the moment, it's 0-0. We do have a free kick. Harwood Bellis over the free kick to Westwood. Now, they are high up the pitch, so it might be that later on we might want to think about spraying longer passes to look for space behind them. And Twine has done well there. He's managed to win the ball. Now, let's get it into the box quickly. That's good stuff. Westwood. There's chances. Oh, my word. Burnley's finishing strikes again. Where was my poacher there? And at the moment, it's still 0-0. It's a fairly even game. We're just about edging it, I would say. But it's fairly even at the moment. So far, we've ridden the storm that Norwich started with. And that's a good sign. And nice one into Campbell. Campbell tries to get a cross in. It ricochets off the defender. And it is still 0-0. We do have a corner, though. Thank you, Carla. Means a lot, mate. And yeah, it would be really cool to start raising lots of money. I'm like, at the moment, it's so slow. YouTube is a marathon, not a sprint, and I'm up to about £46, and I can't get that paid until I reach 60. So at the moment, it's just a waiting game. I need more views. That's a lovely ball over to Campbell. Oh, no way. No way. We bought a striker. Please strike. We're actually dominating this game. We are beating Norwich quite comfortably at the moment. And possession-wise, we have the possession. We have the majority of the chances. We're just not finishing again. And we've given away a penalty, have we? We've given away a penalty. I always give away penalties in big games. Always. And so the team who have hardly had a look in the game are going to take the lead. It's 1-0 to Norwich. And I have to shout at them and tell them that's not acceptable. And I think I pressed the wrong button there. I think I praised them, did I? Which is a big error. And that's why they've all got a bit confused. They're furious at being praised, are they? Well, use that fury that you have and get up the pitch. And somebody for Norwich has come off injured. Pookie, is it? No, he's still there. It's Cantwell who's come off injured. And I need to get this team riled up. They're absolutely terrible. Norwich have hardly been in the game and just giving away a stupid penalty again. We're beating them. It's like, and please tell me that Campbell is not going to play like an idiot for the rest of the season. Language, Ethan. That's why people are not seeing your comment. And Norwich coming forward again. Yeah, it's just like that, Carla. What did I press on? I pressed on no pressure. I need to berate them. That's what I need to do. They're not doing well enough. It's very poor. And here Norwich again, and Norwich have hit the post. Norwich are good finishers. We are not, and this is not good enough. Maybe I need to go a little bit more attacking, especially with Cantwell off the pitch now. Let's go a little bit more positive. Let's see if we can't get back into this game. To me, Norwich don't look that great a team, and both of these teams would struggle in the Prem as is. Nunes is causing problems. Maybe I'm going to have to ask one of my centre mids just to follow him around. But we need to get back into this game. This is not good enough. We will go 8 points behind them. Who was that? That was dreadful. That first touch was awful. And we've given away an absolute freak goal there, have we? We're going to get hammered here, are we? What was Harwood Bellis doing there? Both centre-backs have had shockers. First of all, Zauri gave the ball away. And then Harwood Bellis just, I don't know. You can plan as much as you like in this game, and when something like that happens, let's berate them again. This is not good enough. And when something like that happens, there's nothing you can do. Having beaten them, though, in the cup, there was no way that the AI was going to allow me to win both of these games. And to be fair, I'd have let them win the cup rather than lose this game. Now, I don't think I've got any option but to go attacking. And yeah, they're just easily picking us apart. 3-0. We're going to get absolutely hammered here. And the entire back line has decided not to turn up today. Absolutely dreadful. They're just picking us apart. Just total. I mean, that defending there was dreadful. Well, this game is gone. So we could find ourselves in 3rd place at the end of today. And are they going to have the water bottle thrown at them? I do love the water bottle. Hopefully it's coming up to half time now. We're going to go attacking in the second half. We, up until this point, we were the better team. We've just collapsed. Throw the water bottle. You've been terrible. Yeah, you should be stressed. 6.4, 6.4, 6.3, 6.2. Goalkeeper, 6.3. You should be stressed. And I can't change the entire defence. I just have to do something. Might as well lose 7-0 as we'll go attacking. We'll put wing backs on attack. We'll put the centre mid. Actually, no. What I could do, easier than doing that. I can see the mistake that I made. I had the DLP on support. That's my error. And I had them on attacking. That's my error. Not focused. So we'll go to the more positive approach. Put these on attack. We have to try and do something here. We'll put this winger on attack as well. Let's try and do something. Let's focus play. And let's play a little bit more direct. And let's run at them as well. Let's try something different. I don't think there's anything I can do now. The game is gone. And Campbell 6.3. Kirkin 6.3. Our new signings. Brilliant, huh? And there's Roberts over the top to Twine. Easily defended. What's going on there? I don't know what happened there. Was it offside? It's all been Norwich. Although the game is very even. Norwich have just finished better than we have. And I thought I'd brought in a striker to do something about our finishing, but obviously not. We're still in the same boat by the look of it. Only minus... Oh my good lord. Look at this defending. Look at that defending. Okay, I've got to make some changes. Some of these boys are just embarrassing. Goalkeeper's got to come off. 6.2. 6.1 for Connor Roberts. Howard Bellis is a 6.3. 6.2. Let's bring Vitinho on. Scott Twine 6.3. 6.3. I can't substitute everyone. Let's bring Tala on for Campbell. He can play him as an advanced forward. What a defensive performance. And you can see it's not to do with the game plan. The way the first two goals went in, it's to do with players deciding not to play very well. That's something I don't have any control over. If the game decides all your players are going to play badly, I can't control that. I can only react to it. And I can't take off every single player on the pitch. It's impossible. So we have to go attacking. We might as well lose 7-0 as 3-0. There's nothing more I can do about this. And it's Nunes has had a very good game for them, and he's still doing it, and we're just not getting close to him. That's better, but they've given it back to him. Defending has been awful, absolutely awful. Our goalkeeper just coming on, he's made 2 saves since he's come on. He's got a 6.8. He's doing all right. Aarons and Nunes are the problem. But there's nothing I can do about them. We are supposed to be tight marking them. And of course it could be I changed the system. They're not familiar with the system. And that could be it as well. But for all your players to have a bad game all at once, that just does never make any sense to me. It does never make any sense to me. Come on, goalkeeper. Claim. Oh, he's given it away. And they're 4-0 up now. And it's an absolute thrashing. And yeah, who was asking the question, will they sack you? Yeah, they could well sack me. This team that I've taken over, which I thought would be easy to get promoted, are not a good team. They are not very good. And every result I've had, we've had to grind it out. And now we could find ourselves in 3rd place, 8 points behind Norwich. This is poor. It's really poor. Let's get a consolation goal at least. Nah, it's not happening. Let's berate them again. This is terrible. We're fitter than they are. We have actually got more left in the tank. They've just, since we gave away those 2 silly goals, we were dominating the game at that point, and then just gifted them 2 goals. And we've gone to pieces after that. There's lots of green faces, and they are fired up by the feedback. But look at this. The players that I've left on, 6.3 Brownhill, 6.2 Scott Twine. I wish I could make more substitutions, but I can't. Every single player who started that game had a bad game. Under 6.4. There's nothing I can do about that. I often wonder about this game. Why can you not just have 1 or 2 players have a bad game? Why does everybody have to have a bad game all at the same time? You either all have good games or everybody has a bad game. Why? There's something wrong with this FM23. I think that they haven't got the money to invest in it anymore. Oof, lucky. Is he going to get sent off? Let's have a player sent off as well. Yeah, sent off. Red card. Ah, boy. And that means he's going to be missing. Who can I bring back to sit in here? I have to bring Westwood back. He can't play as a defender. We're going to get thrashed now. Let's go back to balanced. Just come down. We don't want to go defensive. It's I don't know what happens. We've been playing so well, and then just like, it's not to do. It's how can all your players play badly all at the same time? Yeah, 1 or 2 players can have bad games, but they don't all play badly. We're going to get taken apart here. Probably it will end up as 8-0. We have to put our wingers back on support. And yeah, that's the reason that I could get sacked. This team is not good enough, and we can't meet the board's expectation with the players that they have. They're not good enough, and they were all too old. And in the summer we couldn't sell anyone. He's going to play next game. The goalkeeper, he's having a fine game. He's made 1 or 2 very, very good saves. And you are 4-0 down as well, Ethan, are you? Yeah, it's not our day, mate. The defenders who've come on are playing marginally better. Actually, Westwood's not doing bad at central defender. He's on a 7.1 now. And they have another. That goalkeeper's going to keep his place. He's saving everything. And okay, take him off then. And now we're going to get a chance late in the game to get a consolation. I bet the board are going to be furious at this result. They're going to be furious at this. Well, you can't win them all, can you? Played better since we made those changes, and Teller is in. Teller has a chance, 4-1. And we've drawn the second half. And just like by taking the entire defence off, we've played better in the second half. Are you 4-1 as well? I don't think the comeback is on. Interesting how Ethan's game is 4-1 and mine is 4-1 as well. How interesting is that? And we have to keep an eye on Cardiff's result now. I don't think I'd be too worried about Cardiff in terms of the overall season. More worried about Watford coming good later on. Ball into the box, it comes out to Bastian. Bastian with a low drive straight at the goalkeeper. And what is the referee given? He's given a penalty, is he? What for? What's he given a penalty for there? He's been very, very nice to us. I don't know why that's a penalty. Scott Twine with the penalty 4-2. This game is crazy. I do not know what is going on again. Like, we've scored 2 goals in the 90th minute and the 91st minute. We get another one, it's game on. If we can score straight from the kickoff, it's game on. But it's not. It just doesn't want me to lose that heavily. So it's just given me 2 goals at the end of the game. That's all it is. For being persistent. And well done, McNally. Westwood still on a 7.1. He's playing as a central defender. He's done very well as the central defender. The ironic thing is that we've played better when we were 10 men. That's really the ironic thing. Actually, I might only field 10 men in the next game and just play with 10 men. We need to keep an eye on what Cardiff do now. If we drop down to 3rd, watch what happens with the board. The board will not be pleased. And we need Bayek back in this team. He's crucial. The midfielders we have are either too old or not good enough. I mean, on paper, people think Burnley. I thought Burnley would be... Yeah, well, I won't criticise you if you up your game. We have to get it right. I might have to rethink your playing time then. It's very acceptable because I'm the boss, Ashley Barnes, and you are... Actually, I think I might... If he starts to mess about, I'm going to put him in the reserves. He's totally surplus to what I need. Bayer is now going to be out for 3 days. I think it was a straight red, wasn't it? Yeah, it's a straight red, wasn't it? Oh, boy. What a defeat that was. That was terrible. Keeping an eye on Brownhill. You can have him. I'll give him away with a packet of crisps. Terrible, terrible performance. Okay, well, I'm going to leave this goalkeeper in. He played very well, and he deserves a chance. 2-star or not, he played better than Muric. And good aerial reach. Reflexes are not bad. Yeah, you can stay in. Stay in. And Muric can sit on the bench and think about it. Muric has had some very, very poor games. 6.4 there. 6.4. His overall rating is 7. But he's had some very poor games. His form, 6.2, 6.6, 6.4. He's been very poor at a 6.4 there. He played well in this area, but these were poor teams that we played against. So we'll give the reserve goalkeeper a few games, and Muric can sit on the bench and think about it. And in fact, I'm going to tell him that his recent form is not acceptable. I think I've been playing well. I'm the one who picks the team, and you should listen. So he did accept it in the end. Bayer's out, so we're going to have to bring McNally in. I think Bayek is still suspended. I will play Bastian at DLP next time. And we don't have a game for 8 days, so nobody needs a rest. And what I want to do is I do want to have a look at what they're doing in training. Where are we here? We definitely need to review that game. I don't want to do that twice. I'm going to do some set piece training here. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything with that. Here I want to do match tactics. Preston, we need to win that one. Put in a match review there. We've definitely got to win against Preston. And that game was terrible. We just defended so badly. 6-1 Ethan is it? Oh my god. Seb Thompson. Yeah, why not? I don't even know who he is, so let's loan him out to give him some game time. Oh boy, that was not great. We got to hope that these players play better next time. Preston are now in 6. What happened to Cardiff's game then? What happened with them? They must have played, because they're now on 30 games. They drew with Hull 0-0. Cardiff are in poor form at the moment. Luckily, otherwise Cardiff would be above us now. So they must be just below us on goal difference then. Yeah, it's goal difference. We have better goal difference. Let's have a, what are the boards saying now? They're still pleased. The board are pleased. The team is currently on course to win promotion. Okay. It's this 8-point gap now. That's almost at this stage of the season impossible to catch unless Norwich suffer some injuries and go into a really bad run of form. It's almost impossible to catch them now. What was that about Egan Riley? He's not happy with his training. Well, let's have a look. He might be improving. So let's go to have a look at what's going on. Let's have a look at his attributes. Where can I find that? Development training. I want to have a look at his attributes. Where do I find that? His strength is going up. So let's look at just his strength. Is that his strength? No, that's not showing up properly, is it? Let's take his strength out. Why is that not showing up properly? Attributes. So just want strength. Yeah, it is going up slightly. He's gone up from 7. He's now 8. So there's no need to take him off. I don't care if he's not happy with it. He is actually he's actually doing okay. He's gone up by 1 complete attribute in the last month or so. We're not going to take him off that training. Always pays to just check. Never take people's words for it. Just check. And check yourself. And he might be pulling a fast one because he doesn't like it. I'm going to request a summary to the inbox. I pretty much know what he's going to say. He's going to suggest training stuff. Does anybody attend these meetings when you're playing the game, guys? Do you actually attend the meetings? Let's have a look at Preston. Pretty good side as well. But they are going to sit back by the look of it. Good passing team again. Good crossing. Aggressive. Good composure. But they're not very brave, so we should get stuck into them. Don't have much pace. So for Preston, what we're going to do is play in a much more positive way. McNally will have to play now. Do I want to play him as a ball-playing defender? Yeah. And Harwood Bellis can be a central defender on defend. I don't want these boys on attack to begin with. We'll just put them on support. We want to be using this tactic now. Support, McNally. Westwood. Actually, Westwood was one of the better players, wasn't he? Bastian was awful, so let's play Josh Cullen then. The defence, we have to keep playing him. He's just like, he has to get used to this. Cullen is on a downward slope as well. Roberts can come out of the side and Loughton can come in. Brownhill was also terrible. So let's give Teller a game. Westwood was the only player who played well. Scott Twine had a 6.2, didn't he? Although he did recover, didn't he, in the second half? He might have been one of the goal scorers. Zauri was terrible. So we'll give Churlanoff a game. And Campbell, he's like, he's rated as a decent striker. We've got to give him another shot. I'm actually going to try him out as an advanced forward now. See if he does any better. So we will have, actually no, let's put Vitinho on the wing here. Vitinho had a terrible game at fullback, but recovered in the second half as well. So we're going to find someone for Kevin Long can come in there. We need a wing, we need Matson to come in here. Churlanoff can come in for Zauri, who was dreadful. Who scored the goals last time? Wasn't Zauri, was it? Who scored the goals? What was the final score? 6-5. Oh my lord. Churlanoff, Brownhill. Bastian was terrible. Brownhill wasn't much better. He's injured. Let's put Rodriguez on the bench. Look at this. Zauri, terrible. Bayer, terrible. 5.8. He had Bayer. Dervisoglu has been absolutely dreadful. Let's put Dervisoglu on instead of Rodriguez. This has to be better. We have to beat Preston. I don't want to go the whole episode with 2 defeats. We have to beat Preston. We should be good enough to beat Preston. But the way they're playing at the moment and the way the debutants actually started, I don't feel very good about it. But we do need to get ourselves into a run of form here. Can we do it? Can we do it? Oh, Brownhill, yeah, go home. Oh, he's only out for a day. How can you have a cold for a day? just the game being silly. It's Luke McNally, Kirkin, Matson, Vitinho on the right wing he wants? No, we're going to go with my team. We have to attack them this time. Cannot afford. Preston are not a great team. Yep, okay. Once we don't have room for a goalkeeping coach, and they won't let us. Technical now. We don't have room. There's no room in the staffing. So don't suggest anything. It's a waste of time. Professional contract. Advise against. Okay, no problem. Connor Roberts. Out for 6 to... Oh my God. Send him to a specialist. We can afford it. 6 to 7 weeks. Our fullback's gone. Brilliant. And with Bayer suspended, that couldn't be better, could it? We only have one fullback now on that side. This game is relentless. It's like it murders you. As soon as it smells an area of weakness, it just murders you. It's relentless. It never used to be this bad. It used to give you a sporting chance. It just does not give you a sporting chance now. And as soon as we lost Bayer to suspension, it's gone and injured the other fullback, hasn't it? Unbelievable. So now we have 2 injuries, Brownhill and Roberts. We don't have a fullback, so we're screwed. So Vitinho will have to come back and play fullback. I haven't got another midfielder. Bastian will have to come on the bench. Maybe I will put Vitinho on the bench and play... he's injured. I don't want to play Zauri again. He's had an absolute rubbish time. Let's play and put Vitinho on the bench. That's how it's going to have to be. He's injured though. Oh, goodness me. Let's put Vitinho in. And Rodriguez. There's nothing more. If we have a problem at fullback, I'll just play a striker there. And Muric can sit on the bench. The goalkeeper can sit on the bench. Although, is he going to have a 6.2 2 games in a row? Let's put him in. Try him one more time. If he doesn't do better this time. Yeah, it does, Stefan. It's absolutely relentless. And it makes it sometimes almost impossible for you to put a team on the pitch. It never used to be like this. The game itself on the pitch is as easy as it ever was. What they've done to make the game more difficult is the off the pitch stuff. It's the only way they could make the game more difficult. On the pitch, the game is as easy as it ever was. And as long as you keep improving your team, your results will improve. Off the pitch, they've made it diabolical now. I mean, I don't know, have you been following the Benfica save, Stefan? The traffic, like, FFP stuff that's been going on there. It's just totally unbelievable. And no team would be in that mess in real life. They would sort it out. You can't just, like, turn the traffic lights red before a transfer window, turn them green after a transfer window, and then remove any money that you've got in the transfer budget. It's just stupid. And it's the only way the game can actually level the playing field, really, because on the pitch, you can beat the game quite easily. I think that we should beat Preston. And I think we should just go and use opposition instructions to beat Preston. No, I'm going to go play positive. We have to win this. We have to attack them. And we have a fit team. And let's have a look at... And yes, we are going to play pressing football, aren't we? We're going to play out from the back. We're going to press them. We're going to play high up. Yeah, so we should be beating this team. He's a good goalkeeper, Woodman. Doesn't have any pace, so we'll close him down. Are they going to play 3 at the back, are they? Calvin Ramsey, not very strong. Close him down, hard tackle him. Not him, not him. Why am I doing that? Story. Calvin Ramsey. Not very strong or brave. Close him down, yeah. Ramsey. Hard tackle him. Harvey White. Doesn't have any dribbling power. He's not very pacey. Not very brave. Hard tackle him and close him down. Fernandez at left wing back. Close him down. Right foot and hard tackle him. Ali McCann, former Preston player, very good player, Ali McCann, former Preston boy. Still is playing for Preston. We are playing Preston, aren't we? Did very well for me, Ali McCann, when he was he was 28, 29 when I took over. Left foot is poor. We need to tight mark him and turn him onto his left foot. And Alan Brown, composure isn't very good. Decisions are not great. Left foot is poor. We need to close him down and turn him onto his left foot. And then the 2 front players, he's going to be playing as a DLF. I don't like these forwards. I'm not going to do anything with him for the time being apart from hard tackle him. And Ibowie, we're just going to hard tackle him and right foot. And that should be good enough. We should, if we can play well, we should hopefully get something out of this game. And I need to upset. I'm nervous with his battle with Harvey White. Why are you upset? What is the problem? So, let's go out there. We're favourites for a reason. Go out there and make sure. I'm going to say I have faith in you this time. He's now composed anyway, Campbell. We need to get a result. If we don't get a result, I'm going to have to hide because we will be in dire trouble. Oi, what's going on there, ref? Is that a red card? We got a red card for less than that. Right, Kirkin, it's about time you played a decent game. Gets to the byline, nice. Oh, don't stop. Is that what happened there? Oh, it saved. He saved it, did he? Well, that's a good start, at least. We got a shot away. Good start. We haven't dominated the possession, but we are the better team overall. They're not really threatening at the moment. We are just like creating chances again, not taking them. I can't believe I've spent all that money on a forward who can't score again. It's just like unbelievable that will be. He's in there just to score goals, not to do anything else. And here's Kirkin down the line to Vitinho. Come on, Vitinho. Oh, that was dreadful. What is wrong with this team? Let's berate them again. Westwood with a snapshot goes over the bar. What a poor team this is. What an absolutely poor team. We are now actually in third. QPR have overtaken us. We've been so poor, we forgot to look at QPR. Who must be winning here? Cardiff are losing. Norwich are ahead. What is wrong with this team? It's unbelievable. He's offside now. Ah, and look at that for a finish. Oh, boy. We're getting into really good positions. We're getting good, creating good chances, but we just can't finish, unfortunately. What can I do? Ball over the top, easy for the defence. Preston are not even in this game at all, but we just like want to give them a chance. Twine, can you score? No. I love it how the players are like clapping like this when they're absolutely playing awfully. Oh yeah, look at me. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Dominating the game. Can't score again. Again, terrible. Teams are probably wringing their hands when they see Burnley on the fixture list. Are we going to get somebody sent off again? No, he's just got a warning. So this would be Preston's first attack. Watch them score. Oh, we've managed to win the ball. Twine is driving forward. Ball into Campbell. On the volley. What was that? Oh my God. Oh, he's going to be a dud signing, isn't he? He's already on a 6.5. He's going to be a dud signing. He's just going to be no good, is he? The game does this to you. Again, it knows your weakness, and so it's not going to allow you to strengthen it. It's like it's brought in. We've managed finally to bring a forward in, somebody with good finishing, but the game's going to decide he doesn't settle in, or he's out of form, or it's relentless, this game. Like, it's 11 shots, 2 on target. I think what I have to do, we're going to go and slow it down. Just slow it down. Put your foot on it and slow it down. Be more particulars. Oh my Lord, I thought Preston had scored then. This is unbelievably bad. Campbell. What's he on now? 6.6. He's picked up a 0.1. Teller. I wish that the manager would ask for him back because he's awful. But it's too late now. Kirkin. Cullen. Oh, Cullen, stop it. He's on shoot less often. Right, let's go more disciplined then. Stop it. Well, yeah, I mean, he sits in this hole here, and he's going to get, with the underlap that goes on the left-hand side, Craig, he's going to get the ball a lot. Maybe I need to take the underlap off, because if he's so bad, then maybe we shouldn't be looking to give him the ball. So maybe I need to take that underlap. What sort of a pass was that? Both of these players I've bought are absolutely horrible. They are really horrible. I want to sell them again. And Preston are actually going to score here, aren't they? Absolutely annihilated. And they have scored. What on earth is this game doing? I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. Let's go attacking. We don't want to see that. We'll start by berating them again. I don't know what else to do. I'm going to take... No, it's the underlaps on the other side, so that doesn't make any difference anyway. Let's go attacking. They haven't been in the game. They have not been in the game at all. I think this is why people get so fed up with this game. It's got no rhyme or reason to it. How can a team in 2 games be totally dominant? How can all the team be playing bad all the time? It's just, it's not, I don't know, I've lost faith in the game. They tried to make it too difficult. I mean, look at that. They've tried to make it too difficult, and they've ended up messing it up completely. The match engine, I don't think, knows what it's doing. Teller running away from it. That's good. Oh, come on. What am I supposed to do? I've got them on be more disciplined. What am I supposed to do? You've been terrible so far. 6.5, 6.4, 6.4 for Teller. Everyone in defence is playing badly again. I don't know, what am I supposed to do? It's not that we're not creating chances, we're creating tons of chances. Oh boy. This is why I could get sacked. Another stupid shot. It's Cullen. He's got to come off. Take him off. Bring on Bastion. Cullen's totally out of control. And maybe I've got to try something, because this is not working. I'm going to pull the lines back, go to a low block, a mid block. 15 shots, 3 on target. Our XG is better. Our XG is better than Preston's. And I'm going to have to take off Campbell as well. He's just useless. Trouble is, I don't have anyone. Let's bring on Rodriguez. Is that a penalty? It's the only way we can score, actually, is from a penalty. We've had to grind out the results with these penalties before. The game's lost the plot, and he's missed it anyway. Oh, boy. 17 shots, 5 on target. We've got a better XG. They have not even been in the game. And all the time we're losing ground on Norwich. We're now 11 points behind Norwich. Right. Changes. Lowton, 6.5. I don't have a right back. He has to stay on. McNally, dreadful. It's the defence that's letting me down. I can't use any more substitutions. Why? Okay. Let's go very attacking. Go try and do something. Everyone is absolutely useless. Look at McNally. Shout at him. Well, it looks like the championship is gone. We can't come back from 11 points behind. No way. Yeah, probably. And I probably need to go more direct. That might help. You're right, Craig. Probably, yeah. We've tried shorter passing. It's not working. So let's go more direct. They're just out of control in terms of, like, they can't finish. They're the worst finishers in the league. And the game is just showing, you really are poor finishers. And it's making it look ridiculous. Still can't finish. 19 shots, 20 shots now, 7 on target. Preston have had 3 efforts. They've hardly been in the game. Well, all you can do is keep trying things, but I've run out of things to try now. I'm going to go very attacking now. They're just a disgrace at the moment. Rodriguez now up front is on a 6.3. It doesn't matter who I play there. It really doesn't matter. Here's the second goal for Preston, is it? Make me depressed. Go on, why not? Never take on a save where you don't have any finishers. Where the finishing is all... Oh, what is that? What on earth? Let's berate again. They're dreadful. Well, nothing's happening. It's going to be a defeat, isn't it? And now the board are going to get seriously pissed off, I think. I really get worried when the opposition have the ball, and the opposition probably are not worried at all when we have the ball. They've not been in this game. And we've given it away again. Rodriguez, 6.2 now. Is it going to be a late equaliser? It doesn't matter. It's not going to be enough. And he can't even cross the ball. It's just terrible. Well, whatever happens next time, we are going to cautious because we can't afford to lose the next game. I just don't believe what I've seen today. I am thoroughly embarrassed, yeah. Absolutely embarrassed. And we're in third. We could even lose ground soon to both Cardiff and Middlesbrough. 11 points now behind Norwich. It's all over. Burnley unlucky. Unlucky? I don't quite know what's happened there today. This whole thing since Coventry is not looking pretty. And I don't know what happened there today. Two very bad defensive errors. And this game is hard to explain. Very hard to explain. And we got Watford coming up next. Whatever happens, we have to go very cautious next. We will be going cautious next. We can't afford to lose. So we'll set that up. Is Bayek back yet? No, not yet. Yes, he is. Bayek is back next time, is he? So he can go in there. I mean, this, for a team that are ranked the way Burnley are, look at these. They look awful, don't they? They look awful. And yet Burnley are ranked as one of the best teams in the league. How can that be? How can it be? Well, it is what it is. Okay, guys, now that I've got very, very depressed, we'll call the stream a day for today. I actually have no idea now what to do. No idea. Whether I should just keep attacking and hope, or whether I should just now go very cautious and not lose games. Thanks for coming, Ethan. Always a pleasure to have you here. Thanks, Craig. Hey, Ricky, you just come in at the end. It's not been a good episode. 2 defeats today, and I can't explain either of them. See you later, Stefan. We have problems here. Big, big problems. And there's not many games to go. There's only, 15 games to go. Big, big problems. I don't know how to solve them. I'll have to find a way. What I do know is we have to be very defensive in the next game. We can't afford to lose. Just cannot afford to lose. Okay. Thanks, guys, for coming. I'll go away and think about this and see you on Tuesday night. Have a good one. Let's go and have a cup of tea. See you soon, guys. Bye.